there have been multiple instances where people are using derogatory terms when they have absolutely no right, and they do it not always directed at someone, but they're still saying it when they don't have the right to, because they are not part of any group.
And when people take offense to it, like they say it around them, and it's just a repeated thing that keeps happening at school, nobody's doing anything about it, and like...
So a time that I felt discriminated was when I was in the gym with my friends and people were like yelling the N-word with the hard R to play it as a game and a joke.
Okay, a time that me and my friends have been discriminated against is a friend of mine, like, on a daily basis in one of their classes would not only be called, like, racial slurs and, like,
yeah, there was a time in elementary school when I had, like, multiple people tell me that they didn't want to be my friend because I was black or something, so.
When people say things about special needs kids that are rude and mean, it's just not necessary in today's world, because you don't know like what people have to deal with, and coming from someone who has a brother with special needs, it's just really offensive. And, yeah.
So a lot of times people treat them like they're different than us, and at the end of the day they're really not. They are just born with maybe an extra chromosome, or it's not their fault. Like, they shouldn't be treated differently because of that. And people call them the R word a lot, and they also baby them, and they don't like being treated like they're babies because they're not. They just have different learning disabilities, and that's not something they can control.
But they were also like told like transphobic things, like homophobic things that like made them really uncomfortable, and they like are really afraid of like how those people will hurt them in the future because of that, so they are really cautious of what they say, and it affects them really badly in like their image of themselves.
Okay, so I have a nephew who is transgender. He started transitioning when he was 14 years old, and when he first came out, my family was generally very supportive of him, but my partner at the time, I remember being very confused, and then he just didn't understand what being transgender was, and it seemed a little bit transphobic, and I felt that was very odd coming from a gay person.
Okay, so at the beginning of the 8th grade year, I was called a slur in the middle of a classroom, and it almost led to a fight, and I went straight to the guidance counselors about it, and it took them nearly 4 weeks to do anything, and at that they just told the person to stop, and nothing really happened about it. And afterwards it felt exactly the same, and even though we had clear evidence and the entire classroom had seen it, including the teachers, everybody failed to try and make things better.
That kind of made me feel like uncomfortable and like worthless, because they said it like as in a joking way, which is like it's not a joke, because back then people would use that to dehumanize like our ancestors, and I feel like sometimes they don't really like take it in that we care or that we're listening when they say it a lot of the time.
It made me feel, it just kind of like hurt to think that like people didn't want to even be friends with me just because I was like a different skin color than them.
It makes me really, really upset actually, because as I was saying earlier, they can't control it. Everybody has their own problems, whether they're more apparent than others, and being treated this way is not okay, and it never has been and never will be.
It makes me feel sad and very disappointed in the people that do it in a way. Sometimes it makes me angry, but most of the time it just like, it hurts me on a certain level, because it would be so much simpler if they didn't say it. A lot of people say, oh, I don't mean it like that, it's just a different word, but word to describe it. But when you use a derogatory nickname or you say an insult that has to do with like a community, then by default, like there are connotations in that word that say you shouldn't be using it.
And they call it a joke, or that like they're not like trying to be racist or homophobic or discriminate against someone, but it's not a joke and it's something that's like not okay. They can't do it. But they